Yeah, welcome to Poets Out Loud meet Speakeasy, the first one of 2021. Uh, Annie, who normally hosts it when we're in Cockermouth, and she's been able to tune into a few of the Zooms. Annie's probably not going to be able to make it tonight, but she wanted to say hello to everybody. And also heard from Edwina, who normally comes to the Poets Out Loud gatherings in Cockermouth, and she's not been well. She's recovering from COVID at the moment. I know there's a few people are suffering from it. And so she just wanted to say a big hello to everybody. And she, you know, uh, it's been a long time since we were at the cafe, so she's been missing everybody. But I'll send her the link when this goes up, hopefully sometime tomorrow. So yeah, okay. Um, I'll kick off, and then we'll probably come to Jeanette Fisher. Do you have one, Jeanette?
I do, yes, I've got one.
Cool. All right, and then we'll see where we are from there. Okay. Cool. Well, it's the start of the new year, and traditionally you sort of tend to do New Year's resolutions, and I thought here's some resolutions for 2021 because I think we can all agree 2020 was a bit rubbish, and hopefully there's going to be some improvement this year. And then the first week went by, and I thought, hang on a minute, maybe it's just carrying on. So here we are. 2020 wasn't a great year. Let's be under no illusion. Begin 2021 with a New Year's resolution. 1. Stay at home, help save lives, and don't go out for any reason. 2. Don't storm the seat of power or join a mob intent on committing treason. 3. Roll up your sleeve for the rolled out vaccine jabs. 4. Sort out effective track and trace. It's not about the government keeping tabs. 5. Block from social media the president who defies convention. 6. Secure DC. Deploy extra security for Joe Biden's inauguration. 7. Clamp down on contacts. Stop spreading the COVID variation. 8. Avoid the customs crisis looming for this wayward island nation. 9. Exercise local, but don't go too far, even if you're keen for a cycle. 10. Follow the rules, and we'll all get through. Don't bend or flex them. No extracting the Michael. These aspirations may be extremely hard to keep. Perhaps they're just a realization of the standards that you seek. But if soon lying broken, each can bring you down and make you weep. Maybe it's just worth you pulling up the blanket and going back to sleep. And that's that one. Oh, thank you very much. You're very kind. Okay, and yeah, Jeanette, what have you got for us? And welcome back. By the way, it's been a little while.
Yeah. It's yeah. I thought I'd better get back, otherwise I wouldn't. It's like going outside. I had my first trip outside yesterday since Christmas Eve. My daughter's convinced I'm going to get agoraphobia if I don't go out. But this poem, while we've been in lockdown, I've been watching a program on TV called Disappeared, and it's about people who disappear and the search is for them. Some of them are found. Most of the times, a lot of them are found dead, and a lot of times people just aren't found at all. So this is called Hope Ad Infinitum. Millennium Eve, their daughter, 19, excitedly danced down the stairs in her favourite dress, her makeup on, flowers and ribbons through her long blonde hair. She looked her parents both in the eye, promising, "I won't be late." She kissed them gently, heading for the door, then seemed to hesitate. Returning, she folded them both in her arms. "You know I love you both, dear," she whispered before leaving with a flourish and an exuberant, Happy New Year. As the old year rang out, a new century began with the sonorous chimes of Big Ben. Their hopes for the future disappeared overnight. They never saw their daughter again. All searches for her prove fruitless. Her fate remains unknown, but her parents daily hold on to the hope that one day she'll come back home. Her room and their house is still the same as it was when she left that night, for how could they leave when she's out there alone and there's still the chance she might come back? They need to be there for her, to show her they'd never lost hope, that one day she'd walk back through the door, and it's that faith that's helped them cope. To live each day, though grieving, the 20 years she's been gone, that hope is a light through darkness, and with that hope, you can carry on.
Yeah, very good stuff. That's great. Very powerful. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you very much. David, have you got something for us?
Yeah. This is a very short one. I wrote it on the 1st of January. I thought I ought to start by, as I meant to go on, by writing a poem on the first day of the year. It was prompted evidently by the same sort of thoughts that prompted Phil's that we heard recently. Much to my surprise, it appeared in the Cumberland News last week. I sent it to them, little thinking that they'd publish it. They must have been short of material or something, but it was in there. And it's called Goodbye 2020. We shed no tears for 2020. Incidentally, that's tears as in T-E-A-R-S. You'll see why in a moment. The year that's left us slunk away, its tail between its legs, leaving a legacy of discontent, confinement. Welcome 2021. What do you promise us? We hope to shed a tear, that's T-I-E-R, or two, or even 3 or 4, and then move on. That's all.
Yeah. It doesn't take up much room column inches wise, so that might be why it got in the newspaper as well. But yeah, that was really good.
There was also a prelude, actually, as you can see on the page here, which I didn't read out now because I just did it in a few words, but they included that as well in the CN, which was very nice of them.
Good, good. We have friends that come to the news there. They're good, and they've been working flat out since the coronavirus crisis started, so they're doing a great job. Savannah, have you got a poem for us then?
Myself. Hello.
Oh,
Yeah, I've got a poem. I'll just do this. Can you all see me?
yeah.
So on the theme of I don't want to do too many poems. So both of them are kind of to do with, well, were written in COVID, during COVID. I can do both of them, but I don't want to keep up too much time.
Do you want to do one now, and you can save the other one for the next time round? Would that be all right?
Yeah, that would be perfect.
Okay, cool.
So just before the COVID outbreak, I was lucky enough to go to Italy, and I was lucky enough to go to Pompeii. And this poem is just about my experience there. So, Salve Pompeii. Insert. White trainers covered in dust from the ash of ruins surrounding me. I'm far from my home, and so are these people who step by me. But those I step past are forced home. The walking stare with black eyes at cornelium on the wall. Walls that shattered a twin millennium ago. Moment. Relax, I say to the French guy. He whistles at me for sitting on the bare stone. Where do you think the wanderers of Pompeii sat? He brushed past the boys who laughed at the dead. But c'est la vie, my critic. Boys will be boys. And that's it.
Great stuff. Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, that was great. Yeah, my mum and my sister went to visit Pompeii a couple of years ago. So yeah, saw a lot of holiday snaps and things from it. So yeah.
I found it really interesting there. It's like unlike anywhere else. I'd say there's definitely, obviously, it feels more like a cemetery than a tourist attraction. But obviously, there were tourists there, which was strange for me. Because there's not really, you don't really see tourists in cemeteries that much. People only go there if they knew the people, whereas obviously we don't know the people who are in Pompeii, and obviously the ones that are trapped in the ash.
Yeah, kind of eerie, I guess. Cool. Thank you for sharing. That was great. Okay.
Thanks for listening.
We look forward to part 2 then. Yeah. Tony, have you got something for us?
Okay, yes. Yes, I'll do a poem I wrote that just 2 days ago. So it's hot off the press, and it's called Watchwords. Watchwords. They see me through the day like clothes picked from a wardrobe. Many of the watchwords come in pairs, as shirt sleeves do, or trouser legs. Bold and smart, steady and wise. Maybe like Maximus in Gladiator, I'll go for strength and honor. I don't spurn the commonplace. 2 days back, old bones are chilled. I slithered on black ice pavements and I fell on my arse outside the co-op. So yesterday was spring is coming, though bad stuff happens anytime. This too will pass, is also popular just now. But watchwords don't always work. On a jangling, broken glass kind of a morning, I may pick a new one. By coffee time, chin up, I'll say, or climb that mountain. Or sometimes I just stop trying and go for irony instead. Sloth and apathy, torpid and tepid, or eat more cake. Still, if they all worked perfectly, if mind and body, it has asked each day, we'd all be superhumans in no time, with nothing left to strive towards. The faults are part of the design. Today, I'll put on break and mend and try to wear it until good night. And that's it.
Great stuff. Thanks very much. Yeah. There's a lot of watchwords around at the moment. Yeah.
Wow.
Cool. I liked eat more cake. That sounds all right to me. Yeah. Okay. Jeanette Ossel, hello. Have you got something for us?
I have. Can I plug somebody else's work in my slot?
Wow. Well, okay. I guess so.
It's a good friend. I think she has come to SpeakEasy before, and I know she's gone to various local writing groups. And anyway, her son has put this book together called The Man on the Street, and it's available on Amazon now, and it's got beautiful illustrations in it and a poem. I think it's based, for children, but there's a message to all of us. I'll just show you some of the illustrations, that are done by him as well. Goes by the name of SpeakEasy. I mean, one of my favourites is this one here, where you can see everybody, can you see that all right? In the homes, but he's in the main character's in a tent with his dog. And if I just read the first part of the book, I am 7 years old and I do not know why. There's a man on the street with a tear in his eye. So I smile and he smiles and his dog sniffs my hand. But he's sat in the rain and I don't understand. Mum said that he hasn't got anywhere to go and he lives in the wind and the cold and the snow. It doesn't make sense to live on the streets. Why is a doorway the place where he sleeps? This country is rich, I heard on the news. And the man shook his head and stared at his shoes. Then it goes on to a little bit of a conversation between them. But there's also activities at the back, if anybody was interested in buying it for a child. But as I say, I think it appeals to adults and children alike. Thank you.
That's great. And that you can just find that on Amazon.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
The Man on the Street.
I think it was about £6. So it's lovely.
Fantastic. Cool. I think Culture Press better watch out. There's stiff competition out there. That was great. Thank you for sharing. George, hello. Have you got something for us?
Yeah, right, Phil. Thanks. Yeah. This is very short, but it actually records an event exactly 50 years ago. 1971, Adam Smith Society, Glasgow University. We have invited John Ranney to speak to the Adam Smith Society, local industrialist, builder of the QE2, and not a single student has turned up. The hall is empty, and we retire to the common room for coffee. Try to smooth away the fact that no one wants to hear this man. The leaders of future generations do not think that someone from industry is worth listening to. Academia, convinced of academia. John Ranney was I think he was managing director of the John Brown Shipyard, and had obviously been in charge of the building of the QE2, but nobody wanted to hear what he had to say.
Oh, that's it's sort of heartbreaking, isn't it? Really. Susan, can you follow that? Lift our spirits, maybe? No?
I don't know about lifting spirits. I'm going to read, it's a protest sonnet that I wrote about 5 years ago. And it's kind of more relevant now than it was then, because I believe the tampon tax has been overturned as a way for the government to say, look, we're doing good things. Look over here, there's a good thing we've done. And it's like, but I wrote this 5 years ago, so it's not exactly like you click off the mark there. But anyway, so it's called Luxury Items. The monthly flow of blood from out my gut, or 3 weekly sometimes, or less or more, is inconvenient, annoying, but I am used to it now, a usual bore. It fluctuates and changes with my age, and washables are unthinkable now, as the biblical flood eats up my wage, necessities, drowning in heavy flow. So why then are these items seen as treats? Does anyone go on a spending spree and greedily and playfully, like sweets, select the pads or tampons full of glee? If you don't mind a seat encrusted with blood, I'll give up luxury sunnywear for good. What?
No, I was just going to say they're free in Scotland now.
Well, I know, but it's like, oh, they're doing such good things, but 5 years ago they could have done the good thing, but no, they have to wait till there's pressure on and they need to point the finger and say, look away from all the bad stuff. Look, there's a good thing over here. It's like, too late, pal, too late. But anyway, if you can't protest with the sonnet, then what's wrong with you?
Well, they were slow to act, but they listened to you. Cool. There's a little sign come up saying we've got 10 minutes to go before we have to do the signing in thing, but we'll carry on till then. It'll be okay to use the same login that we used at the start, so we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Okay, Kevin, have you got something to share?
I have, yeah. Can you hear me?
We can. Fantastic.
Good. Makes a change. I always get it wrong. Yes, this one is called The Lost Dimension. Walking through clouds of mist at the break of dawn, nothing resolved, passing days, the circle incomplete. Solidity falls into a pit, a silent grave where answers sleep before the questions are raised. Worthwhile measures branded with ignorance, how can we be saved? Through the glass, a weakened hand falls back upon the pillow. Did it wave? Are you sure? Or just another sorrow? Finding ways to say goodbye, just for a moment, time to spare. Empty shelves on dampened walls, unwashed tables, cups and plates, portray a scene so desolate. Hallway with Art Deco sunrise, promises of double glazing, solar panels, instant loans, odds on favourites, a lonely letter, handwritten, foreign stamp, a relative no doubt. Dark as the circle glows, dark messengers to mourn, waiting in the silent spaces, silent streets, no entry signs, one way only, blue lights flashing. Queuing, waiting, dawn till dusk, the circle forms. Incomplete, the circle spins, the lost dimensions of our minds. Echoes long along the corridors of time. That's it. Thank you.
That was great. Thank you very much, Kevin. That was really, really good. Thank you. Roz, hello. Have you got something for us?
Hi, Happy New Year. A bit late,
Happy
but
New
there you
Year.
go. And to name the girl, the girl who isn't here because she's had COVID. Oh, what's her? You just
Edwina.
said it.
Edwina.
Edwina, that's it. Yes, I just wanted to say hi to her in case she's watching, because obviously we haven't seen her since we stopped going to zucchinis. Anyway, I'm going to shut up and read this. This is summer. I don't think I've read it before. I've just been looking through some old stuff. So I've sort of been rewriting this afternoon because it's one that just, it's sort of almost there, but not quite right, I don't think. But I've given up with it now. It's called Misleading Signs. You might find some of the sonnets I write don't have the ability to excite your sensibilities. Flippant they might be, not to your taste. You find them too slight for this genre where love and devotion are extolled to arouse strong emotion. Certainly, it's an interesting notion that words can put feeling into motion and embody something of the divine. Embodying something of the divine when arranged in combinations so fine for the elite who recognize this sign. Be wary, signs trick you, says Wittgenstein. Landscapes diminish if you turn to look at the rabbit running, or is it a duck? And that was that. That was it was in the form of a sonnet if you were interested. But
Oh, I love that. That was great. And the duck and rabbit thing that was one of Nick Pemberton's favourite optical illusions. That came up many a time at SpeakEasy over the years. Fantastic. Love that.
Phil.
Hello.
It's Richard. I dropped out for a bit earlier on. I think the internet connection was a bit unstable, but I'm here anyway, and I've got one to read if you want at some point.
Cool. All right. Do you want to go after Val, who's about to go now if she's got something?
Whatever.
Okay. Val, have you got something for us?
Yeah, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, just about, yeah.
Right. This is called Christmas Colours, and it's about a walk that I did. The evening walk begun under a blinding sun, reflected on hills of gold. But now it's getting cold on this frosty winter's day, and the final golden ray sinks down below the horizon. Now the full moon rising casts its silvery hue in a cloak of dusky blue on the snow-topped hills. And as the evening chills, the sky turns to indigo. The sea gleams white below, satin under velvet sky. The lighthouse winks its eye. A sultry shining star, yellow headlights from afar herald the onset of the night. Orange glow from a street light illuminates the increasing black. It's dark when I get back, but there's magic in the air. Coloured lights are everywhere. A fairyland of Christmas light, twinkling in the dark black night. And that's it.
That was great. I loved all the colours in that. That was brilliant. Fantastic. Cool. We've got about 3 minutes. Richard, is that enough time for you to do a piece?
Yeah, I'd get it in 2, I think. So.
Okay, cool.
This one's called "Are There Any More Questions?" and it's got the sort of politicians in mind when I'm writing it, but then it moves on a bit to more fundamental and deep questions. It's called "Are There Any More Questions?" Questions, questions, always exclusive, but the answers seem more elusive. You'd love to query for peace of mind, but the right reply is hard to find. They answer questions they've not been asked. Their lips are moving, their faces masked. You get the answers, but not the ones you need. Making sense is very hard indeed. We're curious to know the unknown, and this is why the questions we hone. We've all asked from caveman to Viking, but the answers aren't always to our liking. Are we alone? And why are we here? These are questions, the answers I fear. Is there life after death? Where is the soul? To search profound questions is our goal. We're probing deeper, always seeking into hidden depths often peeking. We've developed, we think we're involved. The ultimate mysteries are rarely solved. That's it.
Fantastic. That was great. Yeah. I want one of the. Oh, yeah, they should do that at the questions on the for the politicians. They should say. So, can you explain how many vaccines are going to go out, and what is the meaning of life, and then just throw it in there, and then see if they go. Wait a minute. What was that?
I'm glad you asked that question, my right honourable friend. Yes.
I think you find it's 42. Anyway. Anyway, we're probably about to zone out, but I was just going to say, Hazel and Mark, have you got some stuff you want to share with us when we come back? Yeah? And then Ali, have you got something for us as well? Yeah? Okay.
Lockdown's been very productive for the creative juices, I must admit.
Yeah.
Bugger all else to do at them.
Yeah.
Well, I've run out of things that I was doing, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
You can only wallpaper the house once in every room.
I like that. That's an honest answer.
The lawn doesn't need cutting.
Why put off today what you can put off tomorrow?
Yeah. Or for the next 6 months, probably.
But I love the way that they were mystified that a number of 80-year-olds were not able to meet their appointments at clinics.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, but did you think about logistics, about how they actually supposed to get to your clinic?
Yeah.
Yeah, the buses probably weren't running or something.
Thanks for waiting on me, everyone. I just got a cup of tea because I needed it after my, I've just been rowing in the garage. It's cold out there. So.
Yeah. Are you,
no, I went for a run before and I got almost as wet running as I would have going for a swim. So I think I could class that as an outdoor swim.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was pretty wet today.
Yeah, there's maybe some snow forecast the next couple of days, isn't there?
Yeah, I think we might be on the edge of it rather than in the middle, but it's worse in the Pennines and the borders, but we could get a bit.
It's to be all or nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't be doing with this ice on the ground malarkey. It's either 2 foot of snow or sod off.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, the ice is worse actually. You slip about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty treacherous.
John looks like he's in the snow now.
Yeah, he's sitting out. He's getting his outdoor activity.
Yeah, that's last week's snow actually, but yeah.
Nice garden.
Yeah.
Yes, I did say in the poem that I fell on my arse because of the black ice, and that was perfect. Very true, that bit. Yes.
Oh dear.
Well, last week that was, yeah.
I know I walked up by your road, Tony.
Yeah.
Well, I walked across the field and then down back through the path, and there was some woman clinging to a drain pipe on the corner of your block of houses. Don't walk there, she was saying, don't walk there. I was like, she was in wellies or something, and I was in my boots, so I just tromped past her, and she was like hanging onto the wall and inching around. Don't go on that bit.
Well, Finola, who's come along a couple of times, she's wrecked her knee by falling in the garden just outside. and she's done tendons or something. So I had to go up to accident and emergency.
Oh dear. Well, give her our regards and
Yeah, I think she was actually taught. I mean, the great thing about Zoom, etc., you can do all that from your chair. So I thought she might be along, but maybe not. It was about. I mean, it happened about a week ago. But
well, hope she's okay. I think we're getting there. So yeah, Hazel, have you got something you'd like to share with us?
How can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Such cliche, isn't it? Can you hear me all right? But anyway, I was what am I going? Are we going round just the once?
We're going round. We'll go if you do one, and then we can go round again. You do another one next time.
Yeah. Okay. So technically, I think this one is a bit of a joint effort, really. It's called Jura Journey. Almost full moon in the mist-wreathed, snow-smattered morning. Only our tyre tracks on the coated tarmac. A little owl on vole watch high in the trees overhead. In the face-freezing, eye-watering cold, we follow fox tracks on the virgin trail, a vixen and her cub shadow, a skirmish. No grouse feather burst or blood spatter. Quarry escaped? Later, deer tracks cross our path and pink-footed geese arrow through the rosy dawn snowlight towards Binsey, a sun-kissed summit cascading colours of pink and red cloudward. We slip slog up Bakestall's slippery slope, snow crumping under boot soles, glittering ice crystals like diamond chips strewn on the snow's soft surface. Icicles wind-hewn on pig wire into Georgian frosted glass panes. Glitterfall of fine crystals as the weather closes in. A wee dram of Jura Journey by Dash Falls on the descent, last of a bottle bar a wee snifter to welcome in the new year later, started on Skiddaw Summit weeks previously. Today, 7 hours in the snow, sun up to sunset, stunning bookending of the final day in an unprecedentedly difficult year. Heading homeward, Binsey sun-painted Uluru red. That's that one, thank you.
That's great. Thank you very much. Yeah, that was very vivid. It's getting a bit chilly thinking about it. Mark, have you got one for us?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, it's just a short piece though. Okay, again, it came from where I got my last inspiration from, which was Intelligence Squared last year, and it was a debate about the internet. And I think we all get problems where we get attachments coming through to us that we don't particularly want. To do with something called algorithm, I believe. So I put this together. It's only short. It's called clickbait. Commercial algorithm baits the internet hook. Trolled by the net and foul hooked. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, got to be wary of all those bots and things online. Yeah. Thank you very much. Ali, have you got something for us?
Yes, I have.
Cool.
Ministerial forces. So, Britain has a minister for loneliness. Are they lonely? Do they administer loneliness? Do they hand out loneliness pills? Is there a new cure? They haven't been in touch with me yet. Have they been in touch with you? If you ask me, it's all a bit Harry Potterish sounding. The minister lives in an isolated tower. Yes, just like the one in Rapunzel. Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your rope of happy ever after camaraderie. Just keep the bat eaters away from me. Cyber force, space force, vaccine force. Oh yeah, our forces are growing every day. I jump into an analog sci-fi story. Armored to fight, I pull on my force suit. May it always be with me. I bravely step out there into the brave new world. My home, a silver cloud pod. My coffee now intravenous. There are things coming at us from all directions. Space weapons are ready to blast planet Earth. Cyber criminals intend to take down Alexa, Amazon, and Facebook. Maybe even SpeakEasy. They've heard that some strange stuff goes on under Phil's watch. Then there's those pesky hammer-headed spheres. Vaccine force will sort them out. I tuck my lightsaber into my joggers, pull down my visor, and set off into the vast unknown. May the force be with you.
I can imagine the Minister for Loneliness probably hasn't got any friends.
They're all true ministers, apart from the Minister of Scotch Eggs, which I just threw in as a bit of fun.
But he went to a cannibalistic island and he made a substantial meal.
This is funny.
Sorry, I should call it.
Good. I like to think of this as sort of like a group ideas storming session. It's great. Yeah.
Richard, what are you a doctor of?
What do you want me to be? I'm retired. Let's put it that way. But I used
what were you a doctor of?
I was a chiropractor.
Okay.
A lot of times, yeah.
That's silent in the room.
Just cleared up the mystery there. So for anyone who wanted the mystery, it's cleared it up.
Bye, Jean.
Yeah.
Take care. Bye.
Took you all this time to ask, but there you go. That's fine. Bye, Jean. Jen.
All right. I think we're back to me. It was sort of officially the end of Christmas the other day when all the decorations had to be taken down and that. So this one's called Wrestling the Christmas Tree. It goes like this. Raised from the stand at the base. Spiky green needles stick in your face. Hugging the pine tree in a waltzing embrace. Dragged screaming through the door. Spring-loaded branches reeled in, trying not to knock pictures to the ground or demolish the trusty old coat stand. With arms suddenly thrown skyward, can't say this addition is an improvement to the hall. Get out with you, for 12th night hath passed. Thought about leaving you in situ, I can't really be bothered. Out through the front door, onto the drive. My fir tree friend, you've done well to survive. A few needles have shed, but it's time goodbyes were said. Off the spindly branches were lopped, before in half the trunk is chopped. Into the green wheelie bin it's plopped, and the lid closes on the biggest pine air freshener. Placed on the curb, awaiting collection day. You hope the refuse collection don't refuse this selection, but it's always possible that they may. And that's that. Thank you very much. Jeanette Fisher, did you say you've got another one, or have you? It was.
No, I've not got another one. Nothing new anyway. So.
Oh, okay.
And you can't see me. I don't know what's wrong with my laptop. It only lets me do one Zoom conference a day.
Okay.
In the light anyway, and then it goes, something happens to the camera.
That's really weird. As long as it's not on like a setting where you don't want to be identified, where you just want to be an anonymous news.
Oh, I did it in a team meeting the other day. It was, yeah, it was
Yeah, it's on a
horrendous.
witness protection setting.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it, yeah.
Now over
I'm
to
in
the,
hiding.
to the minister who's in hiding somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, not to worry. Thank you very much. David, have you got another one for us?
Yeah, I have. I can't remember whether I told you this before, but I'm currently involved in a project with one Phil Furno. Any of you know Phil? He's a saxophonist, and he has a project of a multimedia thing, music, saxophone, film, and poetry on the River Irthing. And he asked me if I would contribute the poetry. So I've been trotting along the length of the Irthing, seeking inspiration. I went with Phil up to Cramell Lynn a week or so ago. You know Cramell Lynn? For those who don't, it's a waterfall, rather an impressive waterfall on the Irthing up on Spade Adam Waste, or in a gorge down below Spade Adam Waste. Lynn apparently is a Scottish term for waterfall. And this is what I wrote thereafter. It's an acrostic, actually, an acrostic on the name Cramell Lynn. So if you listen carefully, or at all, you will hear that each line begins with the consecutive letters of the words Cramell Lynn. Creamy cataract, cascading, rushing, tumbling over age-old, ragged, jagged rocks. Mighty force of nature mingles roar with bleak winds howl, ever in motion, leaping through the void. Lancing the surface of the pool below, into whose depth, now mirrored as in glass, now obscured by furrowed water, my gaze is fixed. That's your lot.
That was great. I expect to see that published in the newspaper at some point. Oh, well, actually, when's this project going to come together then? Do you know? Do you know when the project will be finished, David, or is it an ongoing thing? Or?
I've no idea really. It is an ongoing thing, and Phil, I believe, has not yet started the music because he's currently working on another project. He has done some of the filming. He did some filming at Cramell Lynn. He's also sent me some other bits of filming that he's done, including 2 photographs of Milecastle 49 at Bird Oswald on a day that looked even colder than the day we were up at Cramell Lynn. I've never seen such cold photographs, so I look forward to seeing what music is coming out of that. I think he hopes to finish it sometime during the spring of this year, but I'm easy about that. I'm just writing stuff and sending it to him.
Cool. Oh, well, hope it goes well, and yeah, let us know how it comes together.
Thank you.
All right. Savannah, have you got your second poem?
Hi. Yeah, I've got my second poem. I'd like to say that I really enjoyed everyone's poetry so far. Like it's really good to be back, definitely. So let's get this up. There we go. Swollen banks. Are you a river or canal? See, I'm on the train back to dark soil, and I'm leaving the greenery behind for this, my written word. The grammar that can never be just right, always off. I know that I'm not the best. Forgive my upbringing. I could read better than my mother at 8 years old, and my father labours for work. We the type to never own books, never hold your own hardback. Never own your own hardback while reading on a bench. Struggle to keep focus on the page while the bus vibrates around your ears and the train talks too much. Planes aren't worth mentioning. Not even splayed on a vintage jacket, laid as a blanket over grass in a park, whether it be under clouds high above or sunbeams. I'm on this train with the countryside visuals, blue, green, brown, to black soil, returning to my written word. I only turned to the window once, trying to figure out whether the swollen banks were a river or a canal.
That was wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I can't remember last time I was on a train. It seems like in the old days when we were allowed on trains and the like, you know.
Seems like we were last on the trains when there were steam trains, definitely.
Yeah. Maybe they will be again.
They're proper trains, steam trains.
Yeah, proper trains.
Proper trains, yes. Bring them back, I say.
Tony, have you got another one for us?
Yeah. It is going to be going to be a big year for John Keats, because it is the 200th anniversary of his death. And I wrote a poem. It is based on the last letters he wrote, and he wrote it from a ship, which was in quarantine in Naples Harbor, so close to Pompeii, of course, and in the letter, I thought I heard some echoes of the pandemic that we're going through. So I wrote this. Keats in quarantine. Stuck on a ship in Naples harbor. 10 days of quarantine due to typhus blazing in London. A stuffy cabin. Joseph Evan was a good companion, but each was bound to grate on the other. They should have been in Rome already, seeking rooms. The Piazza de España or thereabouts had been recommended as being suitable for consumptive patients. Sickness and diseases. Ignorance too. The waves of the world forever swelling and breaking. typhus, TB, and probably the mercury with which he dosed himself had led him to this locked down state. A fellow passenger was consumptive too. A young AD whose imprudence vexed him. Bad symptoms when he met her on deck. He it is best to keep a social distance. He wrote to Mrs. Braun, Annie's mum, told her that the letter was liable to be opened and fumigated at the health office. He said that every man who can row his boat and walk and talk seems to be a different being from myself. I do not feel in the world. He wanted to describe the bay of Naples, but said that his intellect was in splints. Then there's a postscript direct to her daughter. God bless and goodbye. Yeah. So just to give you the dates, that was written in October 1820, and he died in the Piazza de España in February 1821 at the age of 26, was it? Or something like that.
Yeah, not old at all, yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Tony. Thank you.
Keats died of tuberculosis, apparently.
Yeah, a lot of his family had died from it.
Yeah, it was quite common in those days.
Yeah. When he did the workshop with us in November, John Hegley mentioned he's keen to try and do a project about Keats sometime this year. Depends how funding and things comes together, but he was keen to do something with the SpeakEasy and Poets Out Loud writers and people. So if something happens, we'll be sure to let everybody know, which might be, hopefully quite a cool event. So yeah, watch this space. Okay, Jeanette Ossel, have you got another piece?
I've got a short poem, but could I tuck a little haiku in before it because they loosely go together?
Okay.
Or should I do one now and one later?
Oh, no, if it's only 17 syllables, we'll include that.
Are you sure? You're very kind. On Friday when we had the snow, I was a bit jealous of everybody being able to make snowmen, and so I went out at lunchtime and I made a little wee mini snowman. So that's him there. I don't know if you can see him. So this is the haiku to go with that. Mindful of his peas and worth his weight in carrots, our vegan snow. And then the poem I did get for a walk on Saturday. So this is my walking inspired poem. I rose for a walk while the sky was still pink. The stillness was mine, the first crunch was mine. The torch of the sun pointed higher towards spaces clear blue that winked between branches to a vanishing view, a path with no footsteps. The stillness was mine, the dawning was mine, the echoes are silenced in snow. And that is that.
Oh, that was wonderful.
Thank you.
Path with no footsteps. Because that's kind of that childhood thing, isn't it? When you look out the window and there's snow and nobody's stepped in it. You're like, quick, pull on the jumper and the scarf and the gloves and get ready and all the clothes. Quick, I want to get out in the snow. And then you get those with loads of footprints in it. You're like,
that was it. I wanted to rush out without breakfast on Saturday morning. I just wanted to get out in it.
It stays with you. It's always with you. It's great. Fantastic. Okay, we've got about 8 minutes, but that's still plenty of time to get through some more bits and pieces. George, have you got another one for us?
Yeah. Sorry, you were just reminding me about snow there, but I don't know if you remember, it used to be bylaws and things where you had to clear the pavement in front of your house or shop. Yeah. So as soon as the snow started falling, everybody was out in the street, clearing it all into the gutter. I don't do that anymore. I don't know if anybody else ever does. Because you discovered that by clearing it, you made the pavements more dangerous than they were before you cleared them off. Folks started getting sued because people fell in a bit of pavement they'd cleared. Anyway, sorry, that was a digression. This is before lockdown, I would go up to Stirling twice a month for poetry events. So this is just a wee bit about something that I saw from the road on the way up to Stirling a while back. Wind farms. Drive north. See them in the hills, man-made, 100 feet tall with huge wings lined across the hillside, are a mere touch against the painting of nature, snow-capped mountains, blue sky, valley and river. Years from now, they will have rusted and gone, chopped off to leave stumps through which people will wander as they do at Tintagel, old copper mines, the reshaped pit bings. Thanks.
That's great. What a great image of the chopped off stumps of the wind farm. That's great. I like that.
Well, I mean, I quite like the idea that with pit bings, they used to be thought of as these terrible blots in the landscape, which they were. But now they've been remodeled and redone and grassed over and, put slides up them and doing those old things. And I thought, we moan about wind farms, and I bet you in 100 years' time, folk will be looking at them going, saying, isn't there a kind of strange beauty about the stumps of wind farms stretched across these hillsides?
Yeah, there'll be nature reserves and things made out. And I liked your comment about the snow. Again, there's a poem of John Hegley's where he's talking about his dad clearing the snow off the drive, and he has like the killer line about and making sure not to do any of the neighbours' drive, not to do any of the neighbours' bit. It's all there.
Oh yeah. You used to go out and take your spade and mark a strict line along the neighbour's hedge and clean up to it, and then stand in glory, glowering at their uncleared bit of pavement. And the police used to come along, and if you hadn't cleared it, they would come up and knock at your door and say that you were in breach of the local bylaws, and that I can't remember. I think they could arrest you.
How times have changed, eh?
You can only be arrested for drinking together now.
Yeah. It's all fun and games, isn't it? Oh dear. Not a drinking game, obviously. Anyway. Susan, save us from this nonsense.
I was going to do my song, so I think hopefully I've got enough time for it. I'll just have to say it really fast. You might have heard it at the Speakeasy, but I've made some changes. Watching PMQs and listening to the news and getting annoyed and stuff. So I have made some changes. You can sing along. There's a refrain, so you can join in. So bluffing and bluster and filibuster, all they can muster when the blowhards spin. Shell fishermen in uproar about what we all foresaw. Us Project Fear info bores, we took it on the chin. No sympathy for you, dude. Your xenophobic cup's brewed. Trouble is, we're all screwed from greedy Brexit spin. Bluffing and bluster and filibuster, all they can muster when the blowhards spin. Once more, here is John Redwood. Seems is lacking head blood. Bleating Tory no good, and no boats come in. Tweeting several daily, we can see the fairly, unlike Daily Maily, and fish cans in the bin. Bluffing and bluster and filibuster, all they can muster when the blowhards spin. We had our half-price dishy, courtesy of Rishi. Nobody found it fishy to get the voters in. The virus was still spreading, it needed level-heading instead of her dead-heading, accruing Tory sin. Bluffing and bluster and filibuster, all they can muster when the blowhards spin. The tampon tax abolished, 5 years from protests on it. Now Brexit gammon's on it to stop their bleeding hearts. Despite it happening sooner in other EU countries, won't educate the boomer. The Brexit nonsense starts. Bluffing and bluster and filibuster, all they can muster when the blowhards spin. Rashford, UNICEF and mothers show what's sent for children. Companies creaming profits don't get the bairns their bread. The greasy fug of Rees-Mogg passed down son from father. All riches you can gather, don't let poor bairns be fed. Bluffing and bluster and filibuster, all they can muster when the blowhards spin. The trades and industry gone, harbours rattling empty. Still we sing of fishes and no boats come in. Seeing the Tories wreck it, if you still can tax it, you probably voted Brexit, and now will blame remain. Last time, bluffing and bluster and filibuster, all they can muster when the blowhards spin. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. That was great. That was really good, Susan. You should release that as on Spotify.
Yeah, I will. Well, it might go viral on here if you're putting this onto thing.
That'll be where all the extra views are coming from.
Yeah, folk will be joining in, you know. Valerie, are you in a helicopter?
No.
Your sound is so weird. Your sound.
I keep getting this message saying my internet connection's unstable, so I have a feeling I might just disappear in a minute.
It just sounds like you're in a helicopter.
Does it?
Got around helicopter. It's pretty cool.
Yes.
Because my picture keeps freezing. You all keep freezing on it.
We're just sitting really still.
And one time it just
keep moving about, just
yeah.
Not fooling you, right?
We all had a meeting before to pretend to do that. No, I think it's the microphone in your laptop's quite probably near a fan or something. Probably.
That could be it. Yeah.
Unless you have a really posh helicopter that's all like a living room.
Very nice.
Yeah, I saw a few people singing along on the song there. That was good. Everyone joining in on the chorus. Some nice harmonies.
There's just so many verses. It just keeps writing itself, though.
Very good.
I'm sure there's more to come, Susan.
God. By tomorrow, the fortnight will be it'll be twice the length, probably. Mind you, I'm at work, so I can't look at the news too much tomorrow and get too angry. So.
Yeah, Kevin, have you got one?
I have indeed, yeah. This is about 2 years old, and it was when I was doing some project work in Carlisle, and it was something based on some, partly on the workshops at All Hallows, and then things that started to come together, and it's a kind of, it's partly a script, and I had ideas for doing something, but then it came COVID-19, and it kind of stopped a lot of what one was thinking about, came to a halt. And so I was reading through some today. These are sort of extracts, if you like. Anyway, this is Madge, one of the characters. Mr. Smith, I'm worried about him. Got no money, got no friends. Eviction, I'm told. Done no wrong, far as I know. Talks to himself, mainly. He's got you, Madge. You're a friend. And the man from Morecambe, he's a friend. You did say he was coming back. 2:40, he was gone. You did say that. I'm sure you did. Wasn't Morecambe, somewhere south. Blessed brain, won't help me out. Could be south end by the sea. Married with a family. Wife and kids, you know the sort. She only wanted more and more. Strange that you should think of that. Man from Morecambe, family. Wife and kids down on the coast. Happiness wanted most. I get your meaning when you say he'll come back some fine day. Life can be a trial, it's true. The likes of me and of you, we get our pleasures where we can, often so demeaning. The pylon at the school, obsessed he is with it. I have never seen it. I don't think it exists. It's in his mind, you know. I cannot think why. These things do persist. Tablets never fix it. Just leave your mouth dry. I don't have that problem, Madge. Keep myself quite fit. Hardly drink, never smoke. And that's the end of it. Not quite the end of it. Call the end. I don't go to the gym. Sound of mind, the judge once said. 6 months for my sin. End.
That was really good. Yeah. Hopefully the project can come together again at some point.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. I'll bring some more to the next one. You get to know the characters.
Cool. All right. Roz, have you got another one for us?
We've been clearing out the loft because there's nothing else to do, really, I suppose. Anyway, I found this, which is, I did read it before in a different form, but it's a long time ago, and there's probably only maybe 2 or 3 people who would be there at that time that I remember. Anyway, it's the first poem that I ever actually read to anybody else. It's about 20 years old, and it's called Dull. I've always tended to be serious and steered clear of things mysterious. Some people say that I'm boring and dull. It's true my life's never been really full. So it would seem to me that on this earth, I'm not considered for my true worth. Now this is leading me to decide that I shall have to commit suicide. I've never been one for having fun. I get such a thrill loading this gun. At the cup of fulfillment I shall sup as I open the closed inside of me up. This is the glory I had intended, and now, with angels' wings extended, my inner self comes shining through. Oh, I'm sorry, that's boring too. Oh, what's that? And I've got frozen everybody as well, so I don't know. I have finished though.
That was good. And Dull is far from the word I'd think of when we come to Roz and her amazing poems. So thank you for sharing. Val, are you there in your not helicopter?
This is called New Year Blues. The decorations put away for another year. The room has lost its sparkle, it's empty and it's bare. The rain is tumbling down on a wintry day. The world has lost its sparkle, it's cloudy and it's grey. My 2021 diary isn't one bit full. My life has lost its sparkle, it's boring and it's dull. Alone again in lockdown, I'm still stuck inside. My soul has lost its sparkle, it's withered and it's died. Soon winter will be over, replaced by Easter sun, and life will find its sparkle, be happy and be fun.
Brilliant. Yeah. We all look forward to that, I think. Yeah. Well said. Cool.
If I disappear, it's because my internet's gone, okay?
Okay, yeah, you're still there. You're still with us for now, so that's wonderful. So good stuff. All right, Richard, do you have another?
Yeah, could I stick a quick haiku in at the beginning, just because I wrote one the other day.
That's a dangerous precedent now with people allowed to do haikus. Yeah.
It was the day before we went into lockdown again, and it's called Shop While You Can. Today at the shops, I hunted for non-essentials. Tomorrow, lockdown. But thank you. And the one I was going to do is called Life's Little Luxuries, because that's what I went out to buy, you see. There are some of life's little luxuries that I couldn't live without. Central heating and double glazing and a teapot with a spout. Although luxuries are hard to find unless you have the cash to purchase a palatial mansion with a pool to make a splash. I live in the lap of luxury. Here I can ponder my whims. With a beautiful girl on each arm. Could you pour another Pimm's? But all these aren't just luxuries. A smart suit from my draper. A flashy sports car to drive real fast. But best, soft toilet paper. Thank you. It's the things you miss the most, isn't it?
You got your priorities right there.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Yeah, there was a message from somebody who got some jokey toilet paper for Christmas, and he'd said something about thanks for the troll, and it was tea roll, and it looked looked strange. Anyway, Hazel, have you got something for us?
This is I used to work with another poet, well, call it work really, but probably used to play with another poet, and we're kind of, now that we've got to work on Zoom, we're trying to revive our live and lippy. So this was a poem I wrote for that actually, and I thought I'd try it on you guys first. So it's called Where Do Poems Live? Poems are not shy creatures, but brazen, jazz trumpeting through the world, yet equally inobtrusive as microbes. They don't care if you're aware of their weaving and strutting through your stuttering days. They're in the scent of fresh laundered linens, the sweetness of fresh cut grass. They colour stain pigment and sing in the silences between syllables. They lie buried in pillowy snowdrifts after sudden snowfall, follow bird calls and cling to the feathers of angel wings. They swirl in the stirring of hearty stews and spiral down steel twirling corkscrews.
They're in salt sweat at the equator and frosted breath at the poles. They stick like fluff to the bristles of your lover's stubble and whistle in the final gasp of the dying. They dance in starlight and oceanic depths, emulating covalency to slide into molecular biology's sacred geometry. Their power snags you into love and teaches you life in a whole new rhythm, where poems live, everywhere and nowhere. That's it.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Yeah, everywhere and nowhere. Yeah. That answers one of those. That's one of those impossible questions that Richard was trying to put to the politicians. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Brilliant. Cool. And Mark?
Yeah.
Mark.
I think at the moment we're all locked inside again, and even though we're not supposed to be going on the fells, I think there's quite a few people getting out and amongst it. But the majority of us are doing local walks, and this was born of one a couple of nights back when the snow was here. So as with Janet, I'm taking poetic license on the snowfall. It's called Terminator. Terminator, quartz grey sky, cascading angel's feathers, create a negative landscape. Crystal pink winter sun illuminates coppice silhouette. Levitating mists shroud snowfields rising to envelope the hedgerows. Shy stars coaxed to shine by the slow progress of the Terminator. Crescent moon hangs in the balance. Thank you.
Very good. Again, another brilliantly visual poem. Love that. It's great. Thank you very much. And Ali, have you another?
Hi. Yes, so it's a sort of theme really in this poetry meeting in some ways. This sort of reminds me like Phil's one about the tree and the lady in the helicopter. I didn't understand that, but I wrote this on New Year's Day, the 1st. Groundhog Day. Yesterday, I ripped the calendars off the wall, stuffed them in the recycling basket. Today, post coffee in my calendarless room, I sit on my chair, just like the one in Van Gogh's Yellow Room, but with a desk and a computer instead of a bed. I stare out of the window in a mind-numb state. The winter jasmine propped against the wall is in full bloom, transformed from twiggy incognito into golden starburst galaxy. I open the door, wander out in my slippers, hair unbrushed. Who cares? At my age, I have no shame. I duck under the clothes spinner hung with rainbow glinting cobwebs, cross the small dewdropped lawn, pop round the back. Cold paving stones anchor my feet. Snip, snip, snip. Lengths of jasmine, yellow dotted, gather in hot hands. I clasp the precious sheath, sit down and start to weave. Fingers twist and turn, slow manipulation of green twig. Ends tucked in. I raise the circlet and place it on my head. A perfect fit. I am Maeve, Queen of the Fairies, Titania, Boadicea, Joan of Arc, Cleopatra, a covid Cinderella, every woman that ever lived. Back in the house, I sit on my chair, stare at a framed glass rectangle titled Autumn in Park Homeland 2020. Maybe I can spin flowers into gold and, like the miller's daughter, my wishes for the world will be granted. I reach up, touch my blossom crown. Galaxies swirl across my mind.
was brilliant. Thank you very much. Cool. All right, that's the end of the second round. Do we want to do a third round, or do we want to wrap things up there? Who wants to carry on? Everyone's tired. We'll wrap things up there. It's been really brilliant. It's been really, really great tonight, and thank you all for joining in. I just wanted to do.
Thank you.
I just wanted to do a really quick one.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is
Thanks, Phil.
this is my tribute to David Bowie, because it was 5 years since he passed away on Sunday. So this is called "Don't Say It's True," and some of you might have heard it. May have heard it before. So it goes something like this. The timeless chameleon has changed his spots for the very last time. He led the way for them all. He wasn't an alien, just an Englishman who didn't think small. It should change the whole world, left an indelible mark. He played the game, accepted his fame. You said you never did good things, you never did bad, you never did anything out of the blue. On all three counts, how wrong were you? He was the thinnest white duke, Aladdin sane, the king of the goblins, for which he is mourned. Whoa, whoa. I heard the news, oh boy. I thought to myself, please don't say it's true. The timeless chameleon has checked out. Oh, good. And that's wrote that when David Bowie passed away, and these 5 years have just gone.
Flown in for.
Say again?
Flown in 5 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was a disaster year, wasn't it? Where it was everybody. It was Prince, and it was Bowie, and
then like Alan Rickman in the same week, and then it was 2016. It was just all these icons just.
Yeah. And then there was Trump to finish it off, really, wasn't there?
And he got elected, yeah.
Can I just add to your Bowie song there, Phil?
Sure, please do.
When I was a student, we used to do, remember the Fairy Liquid advert? For hands that do dishes feel soft as your face. Remember that one?
Yeah.
I used to do like a Bowie version of that. So it was like, well, hands that do dishes can't feel soft as your face. My green Fairy Liquid. That was always a party piece.
Love it. Thanks, man. That's great. Oh, awesome. Oh, you're doing adverts. That would be. Oh, there's a niche there, man. Oh, can't top that. Can't top that. That was great. Thank you all for joining in tonight. Give yourselves a round of applause, everyone who read, everybody who sang, everyone who listened, everybody who left before the end, and everyone who stayed to the very bitter end. Another clap to all the essential workers out there who are keeping everything going and looking after us all, and we appreciate everything they're doing. All right, it will be a speakeasy in a couple of weeks' time, but yeah, thanks again. Great to see you all. Stay safe, and yeah, we'll see you again sometime.
Likewise.
You too, Phil. Nice one.
Thanks, Phil.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. It's been a great night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Stay safe, all.
Bye-bye. Have a safe trip home.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye now. Bye.